Everybody that's coming back to the chat, if you missed it, Universal and Sound Labs have done a joint venture where Universal is partnering with Sound Labs. Sound Labs is AI technology what allows you to generate songs with voices, right? Now, what he was saying is Universal has this catalog of all of these artists that's been there for years, right? You might be talking about Diana Ross. What do you think about Diddy? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. But Universal, so if they own the technology that generates songs, and now producers, like the independent producers, use these voices from that technology, let's just go ahead and say it. Universal is going to own a piece of all of the DSPs from all ends. I think they already had done a deal with Spotify. They just did a deal with Sound Labs. The next deal, I'm assuming, would probably be some technology that allows them to license like shots, like visual shots. They'll probably be able to license visual shots because they own the perpetuity of the movies and all that stuff. So put it like this. Welcome to the Man Lucrative Podcast. I'm the host, the one, the only, Magneto 7 in the building. What up? Woo! You got to do the Ric Flair. You got to do the Ric Flair. Woo! When you're trying to get your breath together. But hopefully everybody's doing good. Let's see. This episode is brought to you by Safe Tire in Tucker, Georgia. So look, come close. If you are currently looking for some tires for your truck, for your car, for everything that you drive, go to Safe Tire. You need an oil change, you need your tires rotated, you need an alignment. All my fellas with them big trucks, I know you be needing that alignment and you need some tires for your truck. Go to Safe Tire. This is the thing. I went over there earlier this week, and I can't front. Max and the team over there have been really, really great at assisting me with my car needs as it relates to my tires, as it relates to my brakes, all this stuff. They do a really good job of analyzing what's going on. Even if you don't know what you're looking for, they know what to look for. So again, go over to Safe Tire Auto. They are over on Lawrenceville Highway. I will put their address and their phone number at the bottom of the screen, because I need y'all to go over there and just support the business, because they support me. Tell them Mike sent you from the Mad Lucrative Podcast. All right. Let's see where we at. Andrew, what up? I saw a big Trey earlier. What up? And I keep seeing something that says something about the losing connection. So we're just going to keep it going. I might not have too much of a feed on my live, because right now everybody from the East Coast, well, from Florida up to Georgia, we're going through this whole storm situation. So if the feed comes in and out, I'm sorry, y'all. That's what's going on. Like I can't control the weather. So anyway. So I got a few people that hit me up and said they didn't know how to feel about the whole Puff situation. So this is my thing. I'm going to be covering as much as I can cover through this whole process. I don't think he's going to get off. If that's what everybody's looking for, he ain't going to get off of this. He's not going to get off, because I think whenever you do too much bad to people, whenever you like continue to do something over and over and over and over and over, like you're going to have to pay something at some point. I know financially he's going to have to pay. I know in jail he's going to have to pay. He's going to have to pay with the time. Everything's going to be happening. I can't front. So don't ever think that I'm taking up for him. I'm not taking up for him. I just would like to say, it's just, I think it's multiple sides to look at the story. What up, everybody on IG? What up? But I think it's multiple sides to every story. Now, this is what I will say. I will say this. I kind of mimic the idea of, what up, Martin? What up? I'm going to shout everybody out in a hot second, too. But I think that there is a full agenda, right? I think the full agenda consists of where we are with the season to vote. I think some of it is the propaganda against relationships. I think some of it is just to take the attention off of the things that we should be paying attention to. I think that's what this whole puff thing is about. And of course, again, I'm not standing up for him doing the wrong stuff he's done. I'm not standing up for that. All I'm saying is it's more to it than just this story. It's more to it than just this story. So if y'all think that this couldn't have happened last year, y'all sadly mistaken. If you thinking that this could not have happened last year, you sadly mistaken. They probably been sitting on evidence for years now, and they just been waiting to strike. So that's my thing. Also, in addition to that, all of the CEOs that stepped down, I'm gonna say this. I think everybody is associated. I think everybody has been. I think I saw TD Jakes step down. I don't know if I believe it. I got to see it in person. If y'all know in the chat, did TD Jakes actually step down from the church and his daughter took over? I don't know if that's a serious. I don't know if that's serious or not, but I'm hearing that he stepped down. So if that's the case, like, yo, everybody that's associated with certain people, y'all got to watch who y'all around, yo. Y'all got to watch who y'all around. Every opportunity ain't a good opportunity. That's all I'm going to say. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity. And I think this whole Puff trial, this whole everything is proven fact. Like, every good opportunity ain't a good opportunity. And I think there is also a difference between I'm going to connect with this person because I think that we both can benefit from this business relationship, or I'm going to connect with this person because it's a good look on socials or networks or businesses. Like, I do get all of that, but I think for everybody to be in the same predicament, for everybody to have to step down around the same time, yo, it's nasty. It's nasty. But anyway, let me shout everybody out right quick before we start. T.Y. Mike, what up? Buck Rogers 49, what up? The Real Jairus, is that your name? Jairus, The Real Jairus, what up? Hater 58, what up? Martin Michaels, what up? Martin Michaels _ what up? Ricky Dollars, what up? J Doris Visuals, what up? Cullen Munstone, what up? And I think that's all I saw. And Miss Gurus, what up? Mr. Gurus, what up? What up? So I want to jump right in. I will salute, because we are going to talk about AI technology. We're going to talk a little bit about Puff. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes that's happening, and then how we can kind of navigate in and out of the spaces, because I have been looking at some new averages for the creative economy, and based off of the averages and based off of the amount of money that you need to live, it's looking bad, y'all. It's looking bad. This is not the season to cut. This ain't the season to cut. As far as, like, if you're making a certain amount of income from one area, this ain't the season to cut that portion of income out. So anyway, first off, we're gonna start with T.I. and Tiny. They won $70 million on the lawsuit. And before I play this clip, I want to tell you how I'm looking at this. Because I think this is a good example of what happens when you put your products out. Whether the product is, what up, Trey? Trey back in the building. What up? But when it comes to, was it 50 million? I saw 70 million on this joint. If it was 50, I can fix it. I mean, double check that for me. Double check it for me. But this is what I was looking at. This is a fact right here. If you go ahead and put the art out, whatever the art is, whatever your art is, put it out, start to work it. And the more you work it, the more valuable it becomes. If everybody can kind of recognize your brand because you did it first, you'll be able to do this type of stuff. Now, granted, I will say this. T.I. and Tiny Ben had a bag. That bag has been existed for a very long time. So they've had the bag. They've worked together to get the bag, all that stuff. So I can only imagine how much money it took to get this lawsuit to happen. I can only imagine how much money it took to get this lawsuit to happen. But let's play it. I'm going to play the clip. Let's see.
It's for the culture, you know, and it was a fight, you know what I'm saying? It was a hell of a fight.
See?
This fight been started in 2020, and it's now 24.
4 years.
And we couldn't be more happy, man. I wanted to come on here. I honestly wanted to come on here to say we wanted to thank the jurors for, like, just seeing us through this, man, and just believing in what we said. And they heard our story, and they knew we wasn't lying. Okay?
It's right there.
All right. They knew we wasn't lying, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's up. Yeah, what's up, King?
You need a burger.
All right, let me see
Rolling
what they're saying.
Stones. So, yeah. Thank y'all, man. And, hey, we finna turn up a little bit one time. Rolling Stone.
I love it. I love all of that. That's dope. But this brings me to a conversation. Let me see. I see some people coming in the chat. What up? But this brings me back to the conversation I was having about like copyright infringement and what this is going to mean for all of the creative people. All right, so look at this. If we have been adopting, and I know Dr. J has been really good at using AI technology. I just want to understand where that's going to put all of the creative people in the next 3 to 5 years. Like who's going to own what, who's going to benefit from what, who's going to be able to dictate the publishing and the administration behind all of that. I want to know all of this stuff. Because going back to this T.I. and Tiny thing, they started the OMG Girls. That was their concept. They put money behind the group years ago to get them to be on tour. They did all of the fashion and the design. They did all of that stuff. Up front. So being that they did all of that up front, yeah, I'm going to sue you if you try to come take my idea. So I love that part. But now, if you put it into layman terms, if it's a person, and I think this is part of my concern with social media. This is part of my concern. If you are a person that came out with I'm gonna say a water line that was generating electricity from a electronic puck, right, to charge your phone. Let's say you came up with the technology to serve both of those things. Like, it don't even make sense, but just come with me for a second. You put it out on social, the videos and stuff go viral. Some other company nickel and dimes part of your idea, and they implement it into their production line. And then they start to produce the thing that you came up with and that went viral. What does that mean for the average person in the next 3 to 5 years? Even with this, like, do you have the ability to go back and forth and sue a company that's humongous like that? Because I can only imagine somebody like Tesla. Coming up and saying, look, instead of going to the charger stations, we have a water generator. The water moves a certain amount of beats per minute, and it charges the car while the car sits. Like, I'm thinking about all of this stuff moving forward because I want to know who owns it. Who's going to own the rights to what? Going back to this. Now, I want to go to this conversation. What up, Danzy? What up? Going back to this conversation, Universal strikes again, yo. Now, y'all do realize Lucien Grange's son stepped up. Well, I think he went over to Warner first. Got a CEO position. Well, was given the CEO position over at Warner. Then, now, they're looking at Warner taking over at Atlantic. They're looking at Universal taking over Warner and Atlantic. And it's going to be a wrap. right? So now, how much market share will Universal own? How much market share? And when I'm talking about market share, I'm talking about the music business, like not even just music, entertainment, content. How much, let me see right quick. How much market share does Universal own? All right, let's see. Right now, as it stands, Universal owns 20.3% of all market share. That's box office though. What do they own with the music? Overall, they own 31% of the market. So I'm assuming the other percentages right now, the other percentages have been going to Warner, maybe Capitol, maybe all of these other subsidiary labels. Look at this. This is something else that's coming up. I want y'all to see this. And let's put all the puzzle pieces together. Put all the puzzle pieces together. Look at it like this. And this shouts out to Demeza.
Labs have clicked up for a plugin for artists and producers called Mic Drop. And Mic Drop,
Let me start it over. Hold on. We looking
make
crazy.
a Taylor Swift.
Let me start that over. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Labs have clicked up for a plugin for artists and producers called Mic Drop. And Mic Drop uses the voice data of their entire catalog. So you could literally like make a Taylor Swift or Lil Wayne or Drake record using AI. You write it, you use the plugin, and it uses the voice of their artists. But here's what's even crazier about this. Universal has almost 100 years of hit song data. So basically, they're trying to normalize using AI to make records. This was the point I was trying to make. Now you'll pay to license those records, release those records.
This is what I'm saying.
And then what happens with the royalties?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, this is where we're going. AI generated music, not artist generated music, for release on DSPs.
We already
Told
here.
you.
Yeah, we here. We already here. Let me give me and him a clap. So, everybody that's coming back to the chat, if you missed it, Universal and Sound Labs have done a joint venture where Universal is partnering with Sound Labs. Sound Labs is AI technology what allows you to generate songs with voices, right? Now, what he was saying is Universal has this catalog of all of these artists that's been there for years, right? You might be talking about Diana Ross. What do you think about Diddy? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. But Universal, so if they own the technology that generates songs, and now producers, like the independent producers, use these voices from that technology, let's just go ahead and say it. Universal is going to own a piece of all of the DSPs from all ends. I think they already had done a deal with Spotify. They just did a deal with Sound Labs. The next deal, I'm assuming, would probably be some technology that allows them to license like shots, like visual shots. They'll probably be able to license visual shots because they own the perpetuity of the movies and all that stuff. So put it like this. Let's say you came out with a music video, right? This music video, you want to go ahead and put a scene from Friday in there. You want to put a scene from War of the Worlds. I just like that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. You're going to put a scene from there, and you might put a scene from Training Day, all in this one music video. What I'm thinking is going to start happening, because right now it's not happening as far as the YouTube channels getting flagged. Right now the channels aren't getting flagged if you repurpose content, the visual content. You're not getting flagged yet. But I definitely could see in the next maybe even the next year, I could see different pages getting flagged for using repurposed visuals. I definitely see that. And I don't know if Universal has done a deal with Meta yet, but if they haven't, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Like they're literally cornering the market in all ways, from AI technology to content to the traditional artistry, like signing another label, signing artists, signing producers. They're cornering the market on all ends. And guess what? They've been cutting back on all of these jobs, so they already lean, so they can buy as much stuff as they need to buy to make sure that this is a smoother transition into the AI technology. I already know they're working on it. But anyway, everybody that may be affected from this change happening, Godspeed, prayers and thoughts. Like, it's a lot. It is a whole lot going on. I would like to say this. If we are not paying attention to all of the changes that's happening, you're going to get left in the cold. If we're not paying attention to all of the changes that's happening, you're going to get left in the cold. If you get left in the cold, guess what? It's over. It's a wrap. It's a saran wrap. So anyway, you asked about Puff. I got you. So I talked a little bit about this earlier. But watch your associations. The people that you're associated with, just kind of look at how they're feeding you. All of the people that you're currently associated with right now, look at how they're feeding you. Are they taking away things from how you view family, life, business, money, relationships? Are they taking away that, or are they pushing you towards a better version of yourself? If you don't see them pushing you towards a better version of yourself, it might be time to cut ties with certain things. Because I think this whole Puff situation speaks to that. Now, granted, this probably started back in the early 90s. Because I've been looking at some clips from Jay talking about Rihanna, signing Rihanna. Then I saw some other clips where people were talking about Puff's parties. And then I saw the P's. I ain't going to say the P's. Y'all know who the P's are. I get flagged when I mention that word. I can't even say that word. But we've seen all of these people in high positions talk about the Puff parties. Also, I don't like the stuff that I'm seeing that's happening, like all of the stuff that's centered around Justin Bieber. It's very disturbing. Honestly, that is part of my concern when it comes to children in the entertainment business. I don't know how many parents are hyper aware and hypersensitive of what's happening behind the scenes in the film and entertainment business. But I think this Justin Bieber situation with Puff, like every video, it looks awkward. Even when it comes to now listening to some of the older songs, it's awkward, yo. It's nasty. It's awkward. But anyway, Suge Knight had a few words to talk about as it relates to Puff, so we're going to bring him up to the stage. Suge always be giving it up, but I like it. Let's see what he got.
I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You had right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay. Look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no. All right, okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. He used to work for Interscope.
He's snitching.
This guy's job was to bring underage girls and have sex with employees and other artists. To the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing, how they read it. Puffy house for sex trafficking. They raided his friend house for sex trafficking. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. Number one, I've been knowing him a long time. And we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy. So he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs.
I don't disagree.
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time.
All right, let me the last one.
I don't care who you are. Prison and jail is a negative environment.
Facts.
Somebody can do something to them and get a name for themselves. They're going to actually do it. Or they can do whatever they feel they got to do to prove themselves. But we also got to learn. We got to learn from our mistakes. Everything don't have to be a mistake. You got to better yourself. But we all know what we sign things as this. I don't care who you are.
All right, so that was Suge Knight calling from jail. He had a few points that was interesting, and I want to dig into it just for a second. But the fact that he said that the industry turned them out on drugs, I don't disagree with that. I feel like the business creates a certain distance between reality and I don't want to say it. But the business creates people to be a certain way. It makes you do a certain thing, right? Now, if you are a driven person, it's going to feed on that. If you're a person that's like super depressed and hypersensitive over a lot of things, it's going to feed on that. I would like to say this. Who was the accountability person when it came to Puff being in the business? Who was the accountability person? Who was the person in the very beginning that could say, yo, bro, you wilding out? I want to know who that was, because it seems like the more powerful he got, the more people just like allowed certain things to happen around them, and they got scared. I don't understand that. It seemed like everybody got scared to speak up. And I talked about this last week, and it's just a continuation, because I told you I was going to keep following the whole Puff situation. I will say this. I think the way it's looking now, he is definitely going to do time. I don't know how much time. I don't know if it's going to be like time with protective custody. But this is another issue I got. Being that it has been so many people from the feds that's coming, and they've been going after him hard. It ain't been I think it was a civil suit with Cassie, but now like you could tell they're starting to line up everybody that could testify against him. In between him being in holding right now and then them actually going to trial, I'm gonna just say it. I'm a little bit afraid for him. I'm a little bit afraid because when you have people that's in that high of a position, that's a little. Trey said 50 been saying it, Diddy did it. Yo, but this is the thing. I think right now, so when it comes to the whole situation overall, I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm saying in between justice being brought upon him and him doing the time, I would like to make sure that there is no rando, and I say random with quotation marks. I would like to make sure that there are no random people that's trying to get street cred that could pull, do what they like to do in jail and pull a Weinstein. I would like to know that there is some type of, even while waiting to be served, even while waiting to go on trial, I feel like that's the humane thing to do. That's the humane thing to do. Because now, on the flip side, I don't think Puff's mom has passed. Has she? Has she passed yet? Let me see something. Because I'm always looking at all sides. I'm looking at Justin. I'm looking at the twins. I'm looking at all of the people that's affected by this whole situation. Not just, of course, the victims account, but his family accounts too. I feel like some type of communication needs to be put in where everybody can say, oh, that's what's going on. Or like, I don't know if it is like solitary confinement. I think the description of the holding that he's in, I think he get like 30 minutes or an hour of sunlight a day or something like that. The rest of the time he's in the cell. Like, for a person that's been outside for decades, you put him in a cell like that. Now also thinking about what Suge Knight said about him being going through withdrawals, all of that, I'm thinking like, okay, what is this gonna look like? What is this gonna look like in the next couple of years? Like, not even next couple of years, not even that long, next couple of months. Because let's say he goes on trial next April. And all of this time they're building the evidence and all that stuff, right? I just hope for the best. I hope for the best. I don't know who else is going to have to do the whole step down procedure. The funny thing is, I look at this too. I think this is funny. Everybody saw Ellen step down years ago. Ellen been done stepped down. And everybody went back and interviewed the people that was working for her. They say, oh, she's a terrible person to work for. But then the first thing I thought of, I'm not lying, the first thing I thought of was, wasn't she partying with all of them? Like, wasn't it just a thing? Like, everybody and their mama was at those parties. So my question is going to be this. Who are they pulling? Who are they calling for questioning? Who are they going to call to testify? What evidence are they going to present for them to testify with? Like, what's all this going to look like? And what is the timeline? I would like to see a lot of this stuff. I want to see all of this. But that's my Puff. And I'm probably just make it a Puff segment every pod until we get to the trial or whatever, since I can't talk about the other stuff. Y'all know what the other stuff is. The voting and all that stuff. I can't talk about that. But anyway, back to the musicians. And I told y'all this was going to be a short pod. I'm not going to be here all day. Not for a long time. For a short time. But back to the musicians. I looked at a few stats for the different states. And this is technically my wrap up. But I looked for a few stats on the different states and what the musicians are making. Like not musicians, but the creative economy. So painters, singers, musicians, anybody that's in that secondary market of creating income. I looked into those different stats, and I want to show y'all something. Everybody on YouTube, I might try to put this up on the screen, but I'm looking at ZipRecruiter stats for what's the average salary by state for the creative economy. On the high end, you're looking at $69,000 for the year, and on the low end, you're looking at $45,000 for the year. Now, I got a few issues with some of these numbers. Part of my issue is these are extreme cases for the people that's out here hustling, going to get it. I think the average musician that I've coached that's making money from their art might be landing in that $20,000 mark. It's been closer to $20,000. So, being that all of these stats exist, and of course, I don't know who ZipRecruiter got these numbers from. It may be from taxes. It may be from something. I don't know where they got them from. But I could tell you this. It is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. I've been advising people for months now. Yo, figure out where you're going to start monetizing music in addition to working. Monetizing the music in addition to working, like actual physical time doing a job or doing a task. Because if you look at it like this, let's say you get to the point where you got 100% of your business, 100% of your salary is monetized, and 100% of it is automated, right? That should free you up. That should free you up to do more things and create more income with the time that you have. So I just want to present to all of the creative people, yo, start looking at what you can do on an hour-to-hour basis, on a week-to-week basis, in addition to setting up automated services, automated products. You got to do all of it right now. If you don't do all of it, that number, because if we look at that and then you look at what is the average household income, let's see, average household income. All right, the average household income, it says, is between 66,000, and this is an old stat too. This is an old stat. That's 2021. All right, but anyway, between 66,000 and 48,000. If everything that you're doing right now ain't gonna get you even close to that, you ain't even touching mid. You're not even at the medium income. Not even at the medium. If you're not touching, I would like to go to 69. I'm gonna go to 69 because this was a stat from 2021. So if you ain't to the point where you're making at least 69 off of a lot of these things, like your art, for your business, whatever, I would advise you to at least start looking into more options to create income. At least look into more options to create income. And I want to end this pod with this one. I did do the whole my bad, y'all. I got sidetracked. I did do the whole interview with Max, and I talked to him about his business at the tire shop. Yo, there are people out here getting to a real bag. I would advise y'all to talk to more people. Talk to more people. Look at their point of view. Look at how they're getting stuff done. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over and thinking that it's changing something. It might not be changing because you need to open yourself up to more people to pour into you and give you the advice and give you some nuggets and some gems. Like, this is what you should do to do da. So, yo, open yourselves up. Try to have a community of people that's willing to listen, pour into you, give you advice. And not only that, you be willing to pour into them. Don't make it one-sided. Don't make it one-sided. You be willing to pour into them. We don't have a lot of chats going on. What's up, everybody? I see everybody coming in the chat. Yo, this is a short pod. I'm gonna come back because I started mad late too. So I'm gonna come back around 12 o'clock to do the post show just on Instagram. And everybody that's here on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I should have said this in the beginning. But make sure you like, share, subscribe, and make sure if you're in Georgia, go over to Safe Tire. Especially if you need some tires. Go over to Safe Tire. Tell them Mike sent you. All right. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Peace.